Hello everyone, Dr. Alan Mandell here. Welcome back to my channel, Science of Healing. Let me share something today that most men are thinking about, but very few are willing to ask. It's a simple question, a natural question, and according to modern science, it could be one of the most important habits for protecting your prostate as you age. How many times should you really ejaculate for better prostate health? Is once a week enough? Is every day too much? And could the frequency of ejaculation actually reduce your risk of serious conditions like prostate cancer or painful prostate enlargement known as benign prostatic hyperplasia? Today, we're going to break the silence. We're going to look at the real science. And we're going to talk about practical, healthy habits that any man can apply starting tonight. Because your prostate is not just another gland. It's the guardian of your urinary system, your sexual function, and your long-term vitality. And the truth is, many men are damaging it without even realizing it. Every year, thousands of men sit quietly in doctors' offices, holding their breath, waiting for a result that could change their lives forever. A single word, a single diagnosis, and suddenly everything feels uncertain. What most men don't realize is that the story of prostate health doesn't begin in the hospital. It begins years earlier in the privacy of everyday life, in habits so ordinary that they rarely get discussed openly. One of those habits is ejaculation. Yes, something completely natural, something the human body was designed to do. And according to modern science, it may play a surprising role in protecting the prostate from serious disease. Researchers from the respected Harvard Medical School followed nearly 32,000 men over an 18-year period. This was not a small survey or a short experiment. It was one of the largest and longest studies ever conducted on male reproductive health. And the results were startling. Men who ejaculated more frequently, around 21 times per month, showed a significantly lower risk of developing prostate cancer compared to men who ejaculated only 4 to 7 times per month. Not slightly lower, not marginally better. Significantly lower. That finding sent a ripple through the medical community because it challenged a long-standing silence around male health, and it revealed something powerful about how the body protects itself. The prostate is a small gland, roughly the size of a walnut, but despite its size, it carries enormous responsibility. It produces fluid that nourishes sperm. It supports fertility, and it plays a critical role in urinary function. Yet the prostate has another function that many men never hear about. It acts like a reservoir. It stores fluid. It collects cellular debris. And over time, if that fluid sits too long without being released, it can become thick, stagnant, and irritating to surrounding tissues. Think about a pond with no movement. When water flows, it stays fresh. When water sits still, it becomes cloudy, bacteria grow, waste accumulates, inflammation begins. The same principle applies inside the prostate. When ejaculation occurs regularly, the gland empties. Old fluid is cleared, new fluid is produced, and the entire system stays active and clean. But when ejaculation becomes rare or irregular, that natural cleansing process slows down. Pressure builds, inflammation increases, and the risk of problems quietly rises. One of those problems is a condition known as prostatitis, an inflammation of the prostate that can cause pelvic pain, burning during urination, and constant discomfort that disrupts sleep and daily life. Another common issue is benign prostatic hyperplasia, often called an enlarged prostate. By the age of 60, more than half of men will experience some degree of prostate enlargement. By the age of 85, that number climbs to nearly 90%. These numbers are not rare exceptions. They are the norm. And yet many men remain unaware of how simple daily habits can influence these outcomes. Scientists believe that regular ejaculation helps the prostate in several powerful ways. First, it helps flush out potential toxins and irritants. Environmental pollutants, dietary chemicals, and metabolic waste products can accumulate in prostate fluid over time. When that fluid is released, those substances leave the body. Second, ejaculation reduces internal pressure within the prostate. Excess pressure can compress surrounding tissues and restrict blood flow. Poor circulation means less oxygen. Less oxygen means more inflammation. And inflammation is one of the strongest drivers of chronic disease. Third, ejaculation stimulates healthy cellular turnover. Old cells are removed. New cells take their place, and tissues remain resilient instead of damaged. This process is not dramatic. It is not visible. But it is happening every single day inside the body. And when that cycle is disrupted, the consequences can take years to appear. Prostate cancer, for example, rarely develops overnight. It grows slowly, silently, often without symptoms in its early stages. That is why prevention is so critical. Worldwide, prostate cancer is one of the most common cancers affecting men. Millions of new cases are diagnosed each year, and in many regions, it is a leading cause of cancer-related death among men. But here is the encouraging truth. Risk is not destiny. Lifestyle choices can shift the odds dramatically. Regular physical activity improves blood circulation to the pelvic region. A balanced diet reduces inflammation, and consistent ejaculation helps maintain healthy prostate function. These are not extreme interventions. They are natural behaviors that align with how the body was designed to operate. There is also an emotional dimension to this conversation that rarely gets mentioned: stress. Chronic stress triggers the release of hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones tighten muscles, reduce immune function, and increase inflammation throughout the body. The prostate is especially sensitive to these changes. When stress remains high for long periods, pelvic muscles stay tense, blood vessels constrict, and the gland becomes more vulnerable to irritation and swelling. Healthy sexual activity, including ejaculation, can help counteract this stress response. It releases endorphins, promotes relaxation, and improves sleep quality. Sleep, in turn, allows the body to repair damaged cells and regulate hormones that protect against disease. Everything is connected: circulation, hormones, inflammation, recovery. When one system improves, the others follow, but it is important to understand that frequency alone is not a magic solution. Ejaculation works best as part of a healthy lifestyle. Hydration keeps fluids moving. Exercise strengthens circulation. Nutritious foods provide antioxidants that defend prostate cells from damage. Together, these habits create an environment where disease struggles to take hold. And here is the most powerful message of all: your body is not fragile. It is adaptable. It is resilient. And it responds to the choices you make every single day. The actions you take in your 30s, 40s, and 50s shape the health you experience in your 60s, 70s, and beyond. Small routines become long-term protection. A simple habit, repeated consistently, can influence your future in ways you may never fully see. So the next time you think about prostate health, remember this: prevention is not complicated, it is not mysterious, and it is not out of reach. It begins with understanding your body, respecting its natural rhythms, and giving it the regular care it needs to stay strong. Because protecting your prostate is not just about avoiding disease. It is about preserving comfort, confidence, independence, and the freedom to live life without fear. There is a question that quietly troubles millions of men, yet very few ever say it out loud. How often is too often? How little is too little? And is there a single number that guarantees protection for the prostate? The truth may surprise you. Despite what you may have heard from friends, social media, or outdated myths, there is no universal rule carved in stone, no magic number that fits every man, no one-size-fits-all formula for perfect prostate health, because your body is not identical to anyone else's. Your hormones are unique. Your stress levels are different. Your sleep patterns, your nutrition, your physical activity, all of these shape how your prostate functions day after day. And according to specialists from the respected American Urological Association, healthy ejaculation frequency depends on individual biology, lifestyle, and age, not a rigid schedule. This is where many men make a critical mistake. They chase numbers. They compare themselves to others. They assume that more is always better or that less is somehow harmful. But the human body thrives on balance, not extremes. Too little activity can lead to stagnation. Too much can lead to fatigue, irritation, and hormonal disruption. Balance is the key. Consider this powerful reality. Testosterone, the primary male hormone, naturally peaks in early adulthood. Then, starting around the age of 30, it begins to decline, slowly, quietly, year after year. On average, men lose about 1% of testosterone annually after their early 30s. That decline affects energy, mood, muscle strength, sexual function, and yes, prostate health. But here's what many men don't realize. The body constantly adjusts to maintain stability. It listens to signals, it responds to habits, it adapts to lifestyle patterns. If ejaculation becomes excessively frequent, especially when driven by stress or compulsion rather than natural desire, the nervous system can become overstimulated, sleep may suffer, energy levels may drop, recovery slows down, and over time, the body begins to feel depleted instead of balanced. On the other hand, when ejaculation becomes extremely rare, the prostate can become congested, fluid accumulates, pressure builds, inflammation increases. This condition may contribute to discomfort, urinary issues, and chronic irritation known as prostatitis. It can also worsen symptoms of benign prostatic hyperplasia, a condition affecting millions of aging men worldwide. These are not rare medical curiosities. They are everyday realities. By the age of 50, nearly half of men will experience some degree of prostate enlargement. By the age of 60, urinary symptoms become increasingly common. By the age of 70, nighttime trips to the bathroom may disrupt sleep almost every evening. And poor sleep is not just an inconvenience, it is a silent health risk. Chronic sleep disruption weakens the immune system, raises blood pressure, increases inflammation, and accelerates aging throughout the body. Everything is connected. Hormones influence sleep. Sleep influences inflammation. Inflammation influences prostate health. This is why balance matters more than any single number. Medical researchers have observed that men who maintain consistent, moderate sexual activity often report better overall well-being than those who swing between extremes. Not perfection, not obsession, consistency. Think of the body like a finely tuned engine. Run it too rarely, and parts begin to stiffen. Run it too aggressively, and components wear down faster. But operate it at a steady, reasonable pace, and it performs reliably for years. The same principle applies to sexual health. Moderation protects energy. Regularity supports circulation. Balance preserves resilience. Age is another powerful factor that cannot be ignored. A man in his 20s has different hormone levels than a man in his 50s. His recovery time is faster. His metabolism is higher. His physical demands are different. But as years pass, the body requires more recovery and more care. Muscles heal more slowly. Hormones fluctuate more easily. Sleep becomes more sensitive to stress. And the prostate becomes more vulnerable to inflammation. This does not mean decline is inevitable. It means awareness becomes essential. Healthy aging is not about doing less. It is about doing things wisely, listening to the body, respecting its signals, adjusting habits as needs change. Another factor many men overlook is emotional health. Anxiety and chronic stress can dramatically affect sexual function and prostate health. When stress hormones remain elevated for long periods, blood vessels constrict, circulation decreases, inflammation rises. Over time, this environment creates tension in the pelvic region, increasing the risk of discomfort and urinary symptoms. Healthy sexual activity performed in a relaxed and balanced state can help counteract this stress response. It releases calming neurotransmitters, reduces muscle tension, promotes deeper sleep, and deep sleep is when the body repairs itself. Cells regenerate, hormones stabilize, inflammation declines. Without adequate sleep, even the strongest body begins to struggle. Another powerful truth supported by modern research is that lifestyle habits influence prostate health just as much as sexual frequency. Poor diet increases inflammation. Physical inactivity slows circulation. Dehydration thickens bodily fluids. These factors can magnify prostate problems regardless of ejaculation patterns. But when nutrition improves, movement increases, and hydration becomes consistent, the body responds with remarkable resilience. Blood flow improves, tissues receive oxygen, waste products are cleared more efficiently, and the prostate functions more smoothly. The message here is not about chasing a number, it is about protecting balance. A balanced routine supports hormone stability, protects energy levels, maintains healthy circulation, and reduces long-term risk of disease. Even conditions like prostate cancer are influenced by long-term lifestyle patterns rather than a single behavior. Prevention is not one decision. It is thousands of small choices repeated over time. Healthy sleep tonight, a nutritious meal tomorrow, regular movement next week, consistent habits over years. These are the quiet forces that shape the future of your health. And perhaps the most important message of all is this: your body is constantly communicating with you through energy levels, through mood, through comfort or discomfort. When something feels off, it is not weakness, it is information. Listening to those signals is one of the most powerful health skills any person can develop, because true health is not about perfection. It is about awareness. It is about understanding that balance protects the body far more effectively than extremes ever could. And when you respect that balance, when you care for your body consistently and thoughtfully, you give yourself the greatest gift possible: time, strength, and the freedom to live without fear of preventable disease. Most men believe prostate health is determined by age. They assume problems are inevitable. They think decline is simply part of getting older. But modern science tells a very different story. Your prostate is not controlled by your birthday. It is controlled by your daily choices: what you eat, how you move, how you sleep, and how you manage stress. These silent habits shape the future of your health long before symptoms ever appear. Doctors around the world are now recognizing that lifestyle and diet are not just supportive factors. They are powerful protective tools against conditions like benign prostatic hyperplasia and even life-threatening illnesses such as prostate cancer. And the evidence is growing stronger every year. Researchers from the respected World Health Organization have repeatedly warned that chronic inflammation is one of the leading drivers of modern disease. Not just heart disease, not just diabetes, but prostate disorders as well. Inflammation is often invisible. You cannot feel it in the early stages. You cannot see it in the mirror. Yet deep inside the body, cells are under attack. Poor nutrition floods the bloodstream with inflammatory compounds. Processed foods overload the body with unhealthy fats and sugars. Sedentary lifestyles slow circulation, and over time, this toxic environment begins to damage delicate prostate tissue. But here is the encouraging truth: food can be medicine, not in a magical way, not overnight, but consistently, quietly, and powerfully over years. One of the most studied foods for prostate protection is the humble tomato. Bright red, simple, often overlooked, yet tomatoes contain a compound called lycopene, a potent antioxidant that has been linked to reduced prostate inflammation and improved cellular protection. Scientists have observed that men with higher lycopene intake often show lower rates of prostate-related problems. This is not speculation. It is supported by decades of nutritional research. Even more fascinating, cooked tomatoes release more lycopene than raw ones. Heat breaks down cell walls. Nutrients become easier to absorb. Protection becomes stronger. A simple bowl of tomato soup, a serving of tomato sauce, a spoonful of tomato paste, small meals, powerful impact. Another remarkable food hiding in plain sight is the pumpkin seed. Tiny, inexpensive, yet packed with zinc, one of the most essential minerals for male reproductive health. Zinc plays a direct role in hormone balance. It supports immune function, and it helps maintain the structural integrity of prostate tissue. Low zinc levels have been associated with increased prostate enlargement and reduced fertility. In some cases, deficiency can quietly weaken the body's natural defenses against inflammation. But restoring zinc intake can help stabilize these systems. Just one small handful of pumpkin seeds each day can supply a meaningful portion of your daily requirement. No complicated diet plan, no expensive supplement, just a simple, natural food. Fatty fish represent another powerful ally in the fight against prostate inflammation. Fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, nutrients known for their anti-inflammatory effects throughout the body. Omega-3s help calm immune responses, improve blood flow, and protect delicate tissues from long-term damage. Men who regularly consume omega-3 rich foods often show healthier cardiovascular systems, stronger immune responses, and lower levels of chronic inflammation. And since the prostate depends heavily on healthy circulation, improved blood flow directly supports its function. Movement is just as important as nutrition. The human body was designed to move, to walk, to stretch, to circulate blood through muscles and organs. But modern life has become dangerously sedentary. Hours spent sitting at desks, long drives in cars, evenings on couches. This lack of movement slows circulation to the pelvic region. Oxygen delivery decreases. Waste removal becomes inefficient. And over time, the prostate may become congested and irritated. A simple daily walk can change this pattern dramatically. Just 30 minutes of moderate activity increases blood flow, reduces inflammation, and improves hormone regulation. It strengthens the heart, boosts energy levels, and supports overall longevity. Exercise is not punishment, it is protection. Hydration plays another critical role that many people underestimate. Water keeps bodily fluids thin and mobile. It helps flush toxins through the kidneys and urinary system, and it reduces the concentration of irritants that may affect the prostate. When hydration is poor, urine becomes more concentrated. Bladder irritation increases, and urinary discomfort becomes more likely. A well-hydrated body functions more efficiently. Cells communicate better. Organs perform their tasks with less strain. Sleep is the final pillar of prostate protection. During deep sleep, the body enters a powerful state of repair. Hormones are balanced. Inflammation is reduced. Damaged cells are replaced. But when sleep becomes fragmented or insufficient, the entire system suffers. Immune defenses weaken. Stress hormones rise. Inflammation spreads quietly through tissues. Over months and years, this chronic stress environment can increase vulnerability to disease. Even conditions like prostatitis are more common in individuals experiencing prolonged stress and poor sleep quality. This is why lifestyle habits cannot be separated from prostate health. They are deeply connected. Nutrition fuels the body. Movement circulates blood. Hydration clears waste. Sleep restores balance. Together, these habits form a powerful shield against disease. And perhaps the most inspiring part of this story is how quickly the body responds to positive change. Within weeks of improving diet and increasing activity, inflammation markers often begin to decline. Energy levels rise. Sleep improves. Comfort returns. The body wants to heal. It is designed to recover. But it needs the right environment to do so. Every healthy meal sends a message to your cells. Every walk improves circulation. Every night of quality sleep strengthens your defenses. These small actions may seem insignificant in the moment, but over time, they accumulate into powerful protection. Protection against discomfort, protection against chronic disease, protection against the fear that comes with aging. Your future health is not determined by chance. It is built day by day, decision by decision. And the most important step is not perfection, it is consistency.